Hey kids, you're listening to Nothing in Moderation with Travis and Mike. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on this regularly scheduled dumpster fire.
You can catch us on all the social medias under @NothingInModPod. So let's go ahead and get this hillbilly hog fight underway. I did hit record.
Sweet. I'm glad you hit record.
So welcome back to the podcast, boys and girls.
Oh, God.
In case you missed the first half.
Oh, fuck. I brought a snack in here and didn't eat it before we got on air. And it's nuts,
man.
so I can't eat it while we're on air. God damn it.
Haha. I'm opening my snack. Don't you fucking chew into the microphone.
I wasn't chewing. I was sipping from my cup.
Is it a double cup?
No, it's a single.
Now you're just blowing bubbles.
Yep. That's what I do. I blow bubbles. I'm Michael Jackson. Hey,
No, you're Mike himself.
It's not
Wasn't
mistake.
Bubbles his monkey's name?
I think so, yeah. I think that's how that went down. I don't know. We should do him. I should do him for treasure next time.
Well, now you gave it away. You got to wait at least 6 weeks.
I don't like Hannah, or I don't like Alizé, but bitches do.
But
Did you see that Cat Williams stand-up where he was talking about the things that he does to get women to his house that Michael Jackson would, in comparison to what the things Michael Jackson did to get children to his house?
I have not seen that bit.
It's funny as shit.
The most Cat Williams I saw was when he was on the Chappelle Show. When they do like the player haters ball and stuff.
Yeah. Well, you've missed out on the majority of his really funny shit.
Well, that's fair. I saw that Chappelle Show. Dave Chappelle got the Chappelle Show pulled from another streaming service, or the streaming service voluntarily did it at his request.
Netflix pulled it at his request.
So did HBO.
No, HBO fought it because HBO's who actually owns it, I guess. Or did HBO end up pulling it? Because he had asked. There was a clip from one of his most recent stand-up that went viral where he was talking to them about how the terms of the contract that he unwittingly signed at a young age with no real representation really fucked him.
Right.
Because I think we had talked about that a few episodes ago, and HBO he said he asked. I guess he asked HBO too, and they had refused.
I read an article today that they pulled it, and then one of the guys in the comment section was complaining. They're like, well, "Where the fuck am I supposed to watch it then?" And someone was like, "Oh, just buy the DVDs. They're like $12, and Dave actually gets some money from them."
Yeah. Oh yeah, it looks like that they are going to cut it this year. So, that's pretty cool of them.
Fuck, it's so confusing to figure out HBO Go, HBO Max, HBO.
Yeah, fuck, I'm not giving them any of my money. Fuck them.
Well, we already have it through the cable service. It's just a matter of
yes,
figuring out if we can use the fucking streaming service or not.
Yeah, I'm at my limit for streaming services. I'm done. I'm doing no more streaming, no more services.
Right. I mean, I want to watch the HBO ones because they're going to have Zack Snyder's version of Justice League as a 6-part series. So it's good.
Nerd.
Yeah, dude. But Zack Snyder has a much darker narrative to it, and they actually let him go back and finish it. So that's super cool. And then like Wonder Woman's going to be released on it and shit like that. And who doesn't love Gal Gadot?
Don't care. Nobody. Don't care. I'm just not into the superhero stuff. Like that's not my jam when it comes to like the nerdy or sci-fi side of me. I am more how do I put this? I'm more the Star Trek X-Men kind of conglomerate of the nerdy section. Like X-Men not even so much. I'm really more the Star Trek or to some extent, not entirely, but to some extent the more Lord of the Rings nerdy side. Although I've not really seen any of the Lord of the Rings movies in their entirety. So I can't even really claim that. But like with Star Trek, like there's, there are, like I can recite entire episodes as I watch them, because I've seen them so many times. Like Star Trek's just that thing I grew up watching.
Well, yeah, me too. I like Star Trek. I like all the nerdy things. I am just a nerd.
Yeah, I just don't like all the nerdy things. I don't like some of them.
That's
and
okay.
I hide the ones I do like.
That's cool. You're ashamed of your nerdness.
I am a little bit, yeah. Yeah,
Why?
you're right. You don't want to. You spend your whole life getting made fun of for being fat. You don't want to add being a nerd in on top of that.
Yeah, but at least you can control that.
Now I didn't know that when I was fucking 16. Now it's hard for me to not repress those things. Like, it's just habit at this point.
When my sister was in school, and everyone's in that middle school, high school age, and everyone gets made fun of for something. My sister started wearing like really obnoxious shoes or like colors, and she was wearing a Home Depot nail apron to carry her pens and pencils in and stuff. And I guess my mom had asked her at one point, why do you do that? And she's like, well, they're going to make fun of me for something. I may as well pick what it is.
It's a valid point. I like that thought process. I wish I was that forward thinking.
Yeah, she's fucking smart.
She is smart. She's got smart pack.
Smart pack?
God damn. I just saw that commercial on TikTok because like one of the trends on TikTok currently is what 90s or what early 2000s or what 2000s commercial lives rent free in your head, and then somebody cuts to that commercial. So
is that a 2000s commercial? I thought that's like the last couple of years.
Obviously, it's in the 2000s.
Oh man, we're giving people a 1,000-year range to work in. Fuck.
What?
Yeah, 2000s.
Have there been 1,000 years in the 2000s already?
There will be before it's 3000s.
God, I hate you so much.
I'm going to bring up future commercials. Yeah. Let that sink in.
I'm angry at you right now.
Anyway.
See, if you'd buy a fucking goddamn fucking webcam, we could show the people my staunch glaring at you when you say shit like that.
You can still show them and then just put me as like a little box in the corner with a paper cutout.
No, it's not going to happen. You're going to take this shit seriously. Damn it.
I take everything in life seriously. Just like I do everything in moderation.
How did we get here?
Magic.
Indeed. Well, fucking. So while we're talking about TV and streaming services, you want to hop right into our fucking our rant session?
Yeah, go ahead and put it on them.
So fucking the Motor Trend channel, which is effectively, I think, in the grand scheme of things, is owned by Discovery or whatever the parent network of Discovery is. They're bringing back Top Gear America. As if the original Top Gear America wasn't fucking terrible enough.
You didn't like Rutledge?
Actually, Rutledge is one of the few that I legitimately like from the show. I think Rutledge is he's a car guy that we can relate to, whereas like Tanner Faust, I don't think we can really relate to. He's the exotic guy, like Rutledge Wood owns a fucking like Toyota van that's got a bunch of like upgrades, and it's like a legit right-hand drive Japanese fucking Toyota minivan.
Okay.
And he's got like a Tundra and then the 2J swap Scion and shit like that. Like he's, like he owns shit that we would own in a lot of ways.
Right.
Tanner doesn't own shit that we would own.
No, he's got all kinds of rally cross cars.
Yeah. No, that's that's not me. I'm not into that kind of shit. And then Adam Ferrara, I don't even know where the fuck he came from, how the fuck he got involved in this. I don't know. Well, I don't dislike the guy. I just don't know what he,
It's interesting that
what his car stuff is.
The brand existed briefly, and then Jeremy Clarkson fought to bring it back in the UK. Mm-hmm. And hang on, I got to shut that goddamn cat up. All right, I booted the pussy. But so Top Gear existed for a brief period of time, and then it went off the air, and Clarkson fought to bring it back. And then he started picking up steam, and he brought in Hammond and May, and they had a great dynamic with the three of them, and they ended up doing tons and tons of seasons. I own several of them on DVD and Blu-ray and shit like that. And then Clarkson had a falling out with a producer and like punched him in the face or something like that. And BBC's like, well, we don't really have a choice but to let you go, but you're the most successful show on television. What do we do? So Clarkson left, and the other two guys went with him. And then there was a gap. And then Amazon picked them up for Grand Tour, and it became very weird for a little bit, like anything is when it's new.
I think the first season or two of Grand Tour was great in what you would expect from what Top Gear would have been had they continued doing it. I think in like the third season is where they jumped the shark.
You know, I don't know. They moved away from the format. I think the whole first season was more of like a mocking of the BBC show that they had been doing, because I was just watching some episodes from like season 2 or 3, and they actually do car reviews. Like Hammond's driving a Ford Focus and he's explaining it, and then you get into later seasons where they're just doing shit that doesn't make any sense, and it's like, well, that's not real. You're faking it. Like the Reliant Robin, which is one of my favorite episodes, where he keeps tipping the car over going around corners. I mean, I was in stitches when that shit was happening. But it's like, oh, how convenient. And then someone helps him up. And it's like, oh, this is a famous person helping me. How convenient. And it's like, well, it's forced. It's still funny. But it became more and more forced even on the early days of Grand Tour. But Top Gear was so successful that Australia had a Top Gear, Germany had a Top Gear, all under the same corporate umbrella, and the U.S. ended up with a Top Gear, and that's how we got the Rutledge, the Adam Ferrara, and
and I think you needed Tanner Faust in that group for somebody who knows about Tanner is probably a good mix between Clarkson and Hammond.
Right.
He's got the car knowledge, the driver knowledge, but he's also got a little bit of he's not a total dolt. Dolt, is that the word I was looking for?
I think they refer to him on Top Gear as a gorilla or an orangutan.
Yeah, I don't know. But like the person that didn't make sense for me in that is the Adam Ferrara. I mean, like I said, I don't have anything against the guy. I thought he added a nice little comedic value to the show.
Well, and he's a stand-up comedian, right?
He is, yeah. But I think he was trying to fill the shoes of like a James May, and he didn't fit that. I don't know.
I mean, he consistently would pick luxury cars for challenges and stuff like that, so that's a little bit more like James May.
Yeah, I don't know.
But so being a stand-up comedian, it's like they were trying to, all right, we've got a car guru in Tanner Faust, and we'll force some comedy in there with Ferrara, but it felt very forced, whereas Rutledge felt more natural to watch on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it seemed like the kind of shit he would do anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. So the new show, and I don't know that I fully disagree with the entire new cast. I only say that because I only know who one of them is. So there's that.
Right.
But this, so it's the three hosts are Rob Corddry, who is. He's been on Children's Hospital, the Adult Swim show. He was in Hot Tub Time Machine. He's probably their comedic.
Yeah, he was on HBO Ballers as well with The Rock.
Yeah, he was in Ballers. He was in The Layover.
He's generally considered a comedic actor.
Yeah. This other guy that's on there is Jethro Bovingdon. And I don't have a fucking clue who he is. Never heard of him before. This looks so. Just a real quick read of his bio. He's began his career as a motoring journalist and road tester. Guess he's just a. Okay, so he's the automotive guy that actually he's a journalist in the automotive industry from the UK. So there's that. So that makes a little bit of sense. And then the last one is Dax Shepard,
who's generally considered another comedic actor.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure Dax Shepard has a thing for cars, though.
I'm baiting.
Listen to, leave me alone, I'm baiting. But I don't know, I don't know how much his knowledge, I don't know how much he does like. I know he likes cars. He owns a fucking, what is the wagon that what's his face owns?
That's helpful. Jay Leno?
Not the fast wagon. No, of our friends.
Oh, he's got a Fairmont wagon?
No, not the Fairmont wagon. The Buick wagon.
Oh, a Roadmaster?
The Roadmaster. So, I know he's got one of those that's LS swapped, I believe. But I don't know, it's hold on, sorry. He calls this it's a NASCAR Buick Roadmaster.
Oh.
But I don't know. Does it have a NASCAR block in it or something?
It might. Who knows? Those are always kind of fun sleepers. They're like
he bought it after he found out they were going to have his first kid instead of getting a minivan, which I think is kind of cool.
I think it's way cooler.
It's a second gen Ironhead LT. Oh no, he yanked the second gen Ironhead LT1, and it's an LSA crate motor. So
perfect.
out of a ZL1.
Nice. So it's like 630 horsepower or something like that.
Yeah, it's got it says 5 something, but 556, but also did the full Brembo 6 piston upgrade. So, because you're going to carry kids around and he kind of wanted to stop if you needed to.
When you want to get something out of their hands, you slam on the brakes and they don't have the finger strength to hold on to it.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I think that's cool. He's owned a couple of Fox bodies, looks like, too.
Okay.
So I'm going to give him, he's the one that, because I like Dax Shepard anyway, so I'm not immediately turned off by him being on this show. And it's probably because I don't know who the other guys are. But I wanted to suggest a couple, or at least one. I only have one major one that sticks out in my head, but a replacement for one of these other two guys besides Dax Shepard.
Is it Paul Walker?
It is not Paul Walker, you dickhead.
Is it Paul Walker now?
No, he did.
Okay. Right.
I would like to see Stone Cold Steve Austin do it.
Didn't he have some? Oh, he had some sort of game show or some shit, right?
Currently. It's on after Raw on USA Network.
Is that like where he challenges people to do military style bullshit?
I don't think so. No
physical challenges.
It's called Celebrity Drive. That's what it is. I guess he. I've never actually seen
it. So he's got an automotive related show, kind of like Goldberg did.
Yeah. See, and I think it's kind of like he. Hang on a second. See, I should have really done some research on this, but what the fuck fun would that be?
I just don't think I could sit and listen to an hour-long episode with Steve Austin's accent on everything, his inflection. I
don't know that he can turn that on and off to some extent
because he's an actor.
Yeah, but not entirely. But I follow him on Facebook, or not on Facebook, on Instagram. He is, a lot of the stuff he posts though is like him wherever the shop is that he is building his whatever car he's got at the time. Like I think he's working on a Camaro currently. He is like at the shop turning wrenches with the guys, like working on it himself. So there's he's got that aspect of it, and like I know he has old trucks, and I know he has older Camaros and shit like that, and he also rescues elderly pets from shelters and stuff, and kind of helps them through their last
end of
life thing, which I think is really cool. He actually just recently rescued like a 15 or 16-year-old chocolate lab that he takes fucking everywhere with him.
Oh.
After he spent several $1,000s like getting her hips and stuff fixed up so that she could have a better like it's the cool, like I really.
It's what you and I have actually talked about doing with our lives
absolutely.
As we've become more settled.
I look at his life and I'm like, man, I was like, I would love to have just a bunch of old fucking cars and then a dog that I can just throw in and take wherever the fuck I need to.
Blind in one eye, can barely walk, but happy as shit.
Like, absolutely. But like, and he always posts pictures on Instagram, like when he's going somewhere of like him and the dog in the car going wherever they go, and like he'll bring an extra sandwich for the dog and shit like that. So, like it's super fucking cool. But like I think he would be a great fit for the show. And like I said, I'm pretty sure he can turn off and on most of his inflection.
Do you think he would be too large of a personality? Like Jay Leno. Jay Leno's a huge car guy.
Yeah, no, Jay Leno would take over the show.
Absolutely.
See, and I think that him and Dax Shepard would be okay together. One of the other people that I think might be cool now that I'm sitting here talking about it, because it's actually how I know Stone Cold was into cars, is C.T. Fletcher. He's fucking car crazy, dude.
Well, I mean, I get it.
He's got like a whole. He's an old Chevy guy, so he'll have like old Chevy trucks, and he's got a couple of like the C1 or C2 Corvettes or some shit like that, or I think actually like 70s. I don't know how the Corvette runs for the 70s, but he's got a couple of those, and like he likes some of the real wild shit, like the Rat Fink type hot rod stuff. Yeah. So, like, I think he'd probably be a good fit, too.
I just think of the videos we used to watch when we were working out of C.T. Fletcher screaming at his arms. He's like, grow, motherfucker, grow!
Man, it's so weird, because, like, I still follow him on social media, and I follow his son, too. And C.T. doesn't post too much on his social media. But, like, he had his heart transplant, and it's one of those things where, like, he's probably, well, not probably, he will never be as strong as he was, and he can't get as worked up as he did for the most part. Like, I think he does to some extent, but not, he just, that's not the person he is anymore. And like, it's weird to watch him. It's like watching your granddad, go downhill. Like, it's awful. His son posted a video of him, benching like 4 something the other day, and like CT was spotting him, and he just kind of looked like a sad old grandpa.
Oh,
It was sad.
Well, I mean, he had a heart attack once before and then recovered and really got into lifting.
Yeah. And then he had another heart attack, and they were like, hey, listen, fucking, you need a heart transplant, stop. And
you're running that shit hard.
Yeah.
He has such great facial expressions with the intensity.
Yep.
I remember he used to call himself, what was it, the Harlem Superman, and he had the guy in there.
No, he was the Compton Superman.
Compton Superman, sorry. And he had
Wrong
some guy
side
in
of
there.
the country.
Nah, it's all the same. But he had the guy in there that went by the Hulk or whatever it was. And,
Kevin the Hulk.
Yep, and he had 405 on there as a warm-up. And CT's like, 405 is a fucking warm-up.
Yeah, it's Kevin the Hulk Washington. And if you've never seen this guy, he is fucking-normous. Like, Kevin the Hulk is... I honestly, I think he might be, like, nearing 4 bills. Like,
he's a big fucking guy, dude.
Yeah, dude, he's big as fuck.
Like, I know that my weightlifting prowess is nothing to be concerned with, but I have been under 405 once or twice and not able to lift it.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fucking weight. I mean, even...
I was under 95 the other day and had trouble lifting it.
But I mean, even when I could do like 365 for one, I put 405 on there just to, hold it up and see what it was like. And I'm like, fuck this. Like, elbows are screaming, your shoulders aren't happy. And this guy's like, yeah, whatever, fucking we'll do like 20 reps as a warm-up. And I'm like, jeez.
Yeah. He is 6 foot and fluctuates between 305 and 325. He does 405 with 2 to over 5 second pauses on his chest. He will bench press 480 or 495 with a pause on his chest. Like,
it's insane.
Insane.
It's like doing the leg press. You know what I mean?
22 pull-ups at 315 pounds. Curls he can do two strict curls of 315.
Like probably on a straight bar too.
Yeah,
which is wild.
Like fucking just good God, dude.
So
that's insane.
So does that mean that he beat CT's straight bar curl record? Like strict curl record?
Officially, I don't know.
Okay.
I think people have since CT set that record.
Because he held that for quite a while, and he used to even joke about it on his channel about, I set that record back in the 80s, ain't nobody taking it yet, or whatever it was.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure somebody's beaten it since then, but I don't know. I don't pay attention to that shit that much. I don't actually care. So yeah, that's what I think. I think Stone Cold would be a good fit on Top Gear. I hope the folks at Motor Trend listen to me. I will also be re-upping my Motor Trend subscription for another year.
Nice.
So, because I'll check it out. I'll give it a whirl. There's other good stuff on Motor Trend that I've gotten into, because on like Christmas Day last year, Motor Trend sent out a fucking email that was like, oh, get a year for $12, and I was like, well, what the fuck? Why not? Because like on Motor Trend, like you can watch like every episode of Street Outlaws is there because it's Discovery owned. So like from, and then all their little spinoffs.
JJ the Boss.
Jesus Christ. I feel kind of bad for that guy because I know I've talked about this before, but like the podcast that Chief and Sean did, they had JJ the Boss in for a couple episodes. And JJ the Boss is like the coolest, most down-to-earth guy. Like, he's not at all what he portrays on the show. Like, he's a completely different person.
He's not a high-strung bayou guy who's looking to hustle, but also knows the value of $1.
No, he is, but he's not. It's just not as he's not as boisterous as the show would have you believe he is. So he is all of those things. He's a high-strung bayou hustler guy,
but he's humble.
But yeah, very humble, absolutely. Like, his very, very, like, family is very important to him, and you know, like, the loyalty and things like it's cool. Like, if you can find them and you enjoy listening to podcasts, and I'm not saying this to you specifically, just anybody in general, if you even remotely liked the show and you enjoy podcasts, like, it's worth it to go and seek those episodes out, because they're gone from the internet for the most part. But you know, there are zip files laying around of them in places. I may be able to email them to you if you need them. nothinginmoderationpod@gmail.com. But like, it's a fucking phenomenal show, and for me, it changed my whole perspective of the show.
Why are their episodes no longer available?
Discovery made them pull them.
So. Because of content?
Yes.
Like, they talked about shit that Discovery didn't like them having Discovery's name on?
So Sean Murder Nova wanted they were talking about him and his wife. He wanted a daughter, and they couldn't. His wife can't have kids anymore, and they only have a son. And he made the joke about going to, like, Walmart and, like, stealing a daughter.
Oh, no.
And it wasn't like kidnapping, like, a girl. Like, he was legitimately, like, going to Walmart and just stealing one off the shelf. Like, that was the context of the joke.
Yeah.
And it did not go well. It's fucking hysterical when you go back and listen to it. But it was like that, and there were some other things. Like, they gave away some behind-the-scenes things that there are a couple of episodes that fucking, like, probably 100 people on Earth have access to, because they were the first few episodes, and Discovery made them pull them very early. So if you weren't, like, within the first couple hundred downloads of the show, you don't even have it anymore.
Really?
Yep. So there's and none of the zip files have the original episode.
What?
They re-recorded and re-released it.
I know that it doesn't really pertain to us because we have the thousands of listeners that we do, and we've done it independently. But the independent portion, I like. Like, there's nobody who's going to tell us, "Oh, you guys have to pull this because it looks bad to the sponsors," or any of that bullshit.
Well, one of the big jokes was that they would say that we're recording on Tuesdays, every Tuesday without fail. If you haven't got a recording from us since last Tuesday, then it's not next Tuesday yet. Because they would go weeks while they were fighting with Discovery about something that happened in the show that they released, last week. They would have to go weeks fighting with Discovery to be able to get to record another show, just for Discovery to be pissed off about it. Like, they would go, 3-4 weeks without an incident, and then there would be like a fucking 2-month hiatus.
What a fucking shame.
Yeah, it sucks. So, and I don't know. I don't think they had a falling out. Neither of them will admit publicly that they did, but like, they don't have the joint shop anymore. Like, Sean has his own shop. Chief has his own shop.
I know there were some rumors, not on the interwebs necessarily, but like in the street racing community that, and I don't want to levy an allegation against anyone specific, but that one of the more known people from the shows who wasn't married, was dating someone maybe, was getting into some more serious dope issues. And I don't know that it was the OKC guys or if it was one of the guys from another state, but like, it was one of the larger personalities was like having all
of those guys, except probably Sean, have had a drug issue of some sort at one point or another. Most of them were able to deal with them internally. Some of them weren't. Those two, like Chief and Sean, both didn't have any sort of drug issue that was affecting what they had going on.
Well, no, the way it was explained to me was, so-and-so has been getting into this item, and I can't believe that, and then reference their significant other's father. So-and-so isn't just fucking beating him to death over it. And I was like, oh yeah, all right.
That. Yeah. I got nothing. I don't
know. Well, that's how I knew that it was one of the bigger personalities, is because the people I was talking to knew the father of the girlfriend or the wife or whatever it was, and knew that what kind of person he was, and that he wouldn't put up with that shit. And I was like, oh, well, sounds like a little bit more insider info than you would get online.
Yeah, well, but you also know what's weird is there's not a lot that isn't, because of their public nature of what they do. There isn't a lot that goes on that people don't really know about. And a lot of that stuff I would assume to just be rumors. So you don't
right, and it very well may have been.
You don't keep a car like that running at the level at which it runs with a drug problem too.
It depends on what kind of income you have, man.
No, I not the drugs that they're claiming they were doing.
Meth?
Yeah.
Meth
yeah,
and
you
pills?
don't have a meth habit and keep a fucking a 6-figure car running,
Meth is cheap.
at the level that it runs at. Yeah, but you can't. It's not the money aspect of it, it's the functioning aspect
You're
of it.
super focused on meth.
Yeah, pretty much. So, like I said, Chief has addressed that publicly that it's not an actual issue.
Right.
He does have addictions to other things, but it's not those things. So,
wink.
yeah, like he's very open about his addictions. On one of the podcasts, he tells a story about him and his dad. Like his dad has actual drug issues, but his dad got like out of jail randomly a few years ago, and he bought a Harley because his dad rides Harley, so he fucking bought a Harley and like flew him and his dad out to Arizona he flew out to Arizona to pick it up. And his dad rode to Arizona, met him, and then they fucked around in Arizona for a few days, and then fucking like rode back, and like his dad fucking like it's a fucking hysterical episode, like with all the adventures and shit that they ended up on.
It's like
his dad's fucking wild.
The scene from Beavis and Butthead where they're tripping balls in the desert.
Basically, yes. That is a very similar aspect to the story.
Fully animated by Rob Zombie.
Yeah,
the vegan.
But yeah, no, like I said, if you're at all interested in their show, their TV show, the podcast is excellent, and I will send the episodes to whoever may need them. So
bootleg.
So like I said, but there's been plenty of YouTube interviews that they've done independently and a few together, like after the shop deal went down, and they don't seem like they're on the outs, but I don't know that we'll, even after the Discovery thing's over, that we'll get a podcast from them. So, which sucks, because it really is a great show.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely appeals to the crowd that we used to run with.
Yeah.
Especially if the podcast is less hokey than the show. Like it's about
Absolutely,
real experiences and shit like that.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a behind the scenes look at all the bullshit they go through.
That's good, because the show, don't get me wrong, it's impressive to watch a fucking 4-second and change 8th mile car make a pass on a road, regardless
Sean in the Murder Over, he actually just made a 3-second pass at Bradenton.
Okay.
He went 390s.
So, I mean, cars that fast trying to make a fucking legit pass down a road, regardless of what the fuck, who cares that the cops aren't actually there? That's impressive.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't give a fuck who's there to watch or not watch. Fucking something that makes several thousand horsepower making a low 4, high 3-second pass on the street is impressive.
Right, but on the same token, I don't think the channel should have tried to sell it to the audience as if the audience was so fucking dumb to believe this is all just happenstance to be out there. That this is
most of them are.
Well, I guess because
and
it pisses me off.
We're not their target audience, though.
That's true, because if we were, they wouldn't make any money.
We're not going to go and buy Murder Nova T-shirts and shit. Although his new shop is called 187 Customs, and I kind of want one of his fucking T-shirts. So maybe I am their target audience, and I'm just not willing to admit it.
Maybe, but I mean the same thing about Pink's when that show fucking existed. That the idiot in charge on that fucking show, the left-handed Dolphin Supreme or whatever he is.
Yeah.
He was a personal trainer. He was like a fitness model or some bullshit. He had no idea how fucking cars worked. He wrecked a motorcycle on the show because he'd never really ridden a motorcycle, and he hopped on a Hayabusa. So it's like, well, I know watching this shit that, like, that's not the way any of this works. All this looks like shit.
Well, it's funny. Chief and Daddy Dave were on that show twice, I think, with Asian.
I think one of the times that Chief was on there, he had a Honda or something, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. They won a Honda.
Oh, okay.
So they brought a Fox body. Yeah, they brought a Fox body and won a Honda.
Got it. I still think
they hustled the fuck out of the kid in the Honda.
One of my favorite hustles on any of those types of shows was Pink's All Out, where the guy is talking about his Fox body. Oh yeah, it's just a basic this with like 125.
It's like a roller cam or a B cam or some shit.
Yeah, and it
like
sounds
it's literally
mild.
the most basic. Yeah, it sounds mild as fuck. And
it's
then
on
they
stock looking wheels.
If you look, the video shot they show under the hood, there's fucking like 8 kits on the car, dude. It's the most ridiculous.
And doesn't
shit
it make
ever.
like an 890s pass or like an 8-second pass or something?
I
And
think
they're all
it
like,
goes 7 something actually. Yeah.
Oops. It's a good time. Have you, are you looking it up?
I
Have you, I think I've asked you this before. Have you watched Big Mouth?
I've seen a few episodes here and there. I don't think ever any in their entirety.
Okay, so it's a Nick Kroll show with some other people involved in it. It's animated, and they address something that every adult has in common, and that's that almost every adult. We all went through puberty, and we were all awkward during that time frame, and they kind of really address that in a way that anybody can relate to when they watch it. And while there's some like quote unquote dirtiness to it, it's all the same shit that we all went through. In the most recent season, there's a scenario that plays out where Nick Kroll's character, his personality like fractures or whatever, and his douchebag personality takes over, and his primary conglomerate personality is a ghost floating around. And the only way to get his body back is he has to fly up the butt of his body and fight the other portion of the personality. So,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude. So they have him tied to a chair. Like, once he becomes visible as a ghost to his friends, he kind of tells him what he needs to do, and they tie him down, and one of the hormone monsters comes up the stairs and sees him tied to a chair with his ass sticking out, and she goes, "Oh, it's a butt fuck party?"
Jesus Christ.
And they said butt fuck party like 3 or 4 times, and dude, I was dying. But yeah, that's the note I wrote myself, is discuss butt fuck party from Big Mouth.
Jesus Christ. I wish I could make that the title of this show, but I can't. That's not how this works.
B.F.P?
That's not how any of this works.
Bum fights party?
Yeah, I mean, they could go so many ways if I just did B.F.P.
Perfect.
Bum fights party, big fucking party, butt fuck party.
Butt fuck party. That should be the political party affiliation.
Yeah. What's your party affiliation? Oh, I'm
butt
a butt
fucker.
fuck. I'm in the butt fuck party. Oh, okay, cool. Butt fuck party. Me too. Yeah.
Oh, man. Did you end up finding that car, how fast it went?
No, I can't. I don't want to. All I see is videos, and I don't want to start a video while this. Well, I guess I can edit it out. It's not like we're fucking live. Was it Pink's All Out? What was the?
Oh no, it was Pastime.
Pastime. That's what it was.
Because
I was like,
Pink's All Out was another version of Pink's.
That's right.
And
here we go.
Pastime was the one where the 3 judges had to guess the ET.
So on this show, it was an expert versus 2 crowds, or 2 people from the crowd.
And this is the point that they realized they done fucked up.
No, not yet. They still haven't figured. They're kind of talking about it in the burnout portion of it. They're like, this maybe. But he's on like literally like he's on like a stock Mustang room with a big ass slick on it, and it fucking wheelies for the first 60 feet. And the expert on the show goes 190,000 mile motor my ass, and it goes 872 at 165.
I thought it went high 8. Yeah.
Fuck.
That's scooting.
That's amazing. Yeah, 872 at 165 is fast as fuck. So 190,000 mile motor my ass. Oh god, I like it. That was a good show.
Dude, shit has got so much faster just in the last 10 years. It's incredible.
God, with it's weird to think about, like when I had the Neon, I know it's weird to say, but just in the Neon aspect of things,
back when 14s were fast.
So to make 500 horsepower in the Neon, you were probably reaching the limits of what guys were making. Like 500 was like the top of the numbers for a Neon.
Because that's when you started having to replace the hard parts?
Yeah. And,
okay.
and you know, but also, you know, the advancements hadn't been made with the platform for the hard parts to stand up to that power. And there was like, DCR was like the Darryl Cox Racing was like the Neon group guru, quote unquote. And their race car that went like 6s made 700 or 800 horsepower, I think.
That's in the 8th, right?
No, it made a 6 second. Eventually, made a 6 second quarter mile pass.
Okay, but not at that point when it was making like 600 horsepower.
No, I think they had to get it up to like no. Well, it made. I want to say it made 8. It was the first. They were the first ones to make 1,000 with the platform, but I think he had already made the 6 second pass before he got to 1,000. But it was like an automatic transmission, gutted race car, like carbon fiber,
All the things.
Yeah, all the things, carbon fiber or fiberglass, like no dash. It literally, it was a fucking, the floor was probably the only thing left intact.
Right.
From the original car. Like, it was a legit, like, drag car. But, like, and at the time, I don't even think the Super platform, which is insane now, I don't even think the Super platform was making, like, 1,000 horsepower was just starting to become, like,
the norm. Yeah, and I remember the running gag forever was the difference between a 600 horsepower Supra and a 1,000 horsepower Supra is nothing. They run the same ET.
Yeah, they both run 12s.
Right.
So, but and I remember a friend of mine, I think I've told this story before, about like the friend of mine that had it was like he made like 1175 or 1180 or something.
Right.
And I went for a ride in it, and it was the night I realized that I don't need a car that fast.
Well,
fucking, shit's pointless.
The way the power comes on, because it's a smaller engine, but it's going to be a hugonic turbo. Mm-hmm. It's going to be
fucking like 90-something millimeters.
It's going to be like nothing's happening. I feel it start to happen. Holy fuck, it's all happening way too fast to even react.
Yeah.
And that just has to do with the power delivery in different vehicles. But it definitely gives a different sensation of speed when nothing happens until it's at like 7,000 RPM.
It's wild to be doing 60, in first gear, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, like very top of first gear, but doing like 60 and him fucking just laying on it. And the next thing that I remember is we're doing a fucking 160 miles an hour down OBT past Gatorland.
Yeah, and that's like, not even like a well-kept road to be doing that on.
No, well, at the time they had recently repaved it. But the other thing that you have to remember on a Saturday night with that part of town is that's when all the Lafayette kids are out there. So every fucking entrance has got 37 Civics waiting to pull out to race down OBT because that's where they would start.
Fuck, why would you... And I know we're getting off topic, but why would anyone race on that road?
Because it's 3 lanes wide and you can shut it down pretty easily.
Yeah, but for people who aren't from the area, like OBT has streetwalkers almost.
No. This is Gator. This is out near Kissimmee towards the Gatorland end of it. There's none of that out there. This is past the 417.
Okay, so it's way out.
This
in,
is
like,
almost
the industrial
Kissimmee
area.
Yeah, well, it's not. It's out by like the Tupperware Center. Like everything that's out there isn't inhabited at night.
Got it.
But it's getting out towards like the Hunters Creek area, so they had built it up. So it's 3 lanes. It's 6 lanes total actually, with a huge median in the middle, so people can like pull off on the median. Fucking, you can literally. There's not a ton of traffic, and it's very easy to shut it down. Yeah. So
I just,
but like we would, but like I said, it's still wild to think like the only thing that went through my head is, why do I even have my seatbelt on?
Because if something bad happens, all it's going to do is leave me crippled instead of dead.
I'm in a fucking Supra with no cage.
Right.
There's nothing in this car. I don't even understand how it's holding together at 160.
That's the same guy that had the 2JZ swapped GS, right?
He had an IS.
IS.
Yeah,
got it.
His name was Brad. He actually he moved back to. He was from Belize. He moved back to Belize.
Gotcha. But this 1,000 horsepower mark, this 4-digit horsepower mark, is getting to be so common.
Yeah, it's easy almost in pretty much every major platform.
Well, in most major platforms, if you have a big enough wallet, you can call somebody and say, "This is how much I want to make," and they can put you together a parts list. And I say that based on the fact that I work in the industry and people call me with a big enough wallet, and I
yeah.
What do you want to do with it? What's it going in? What's it going to weigh? How fast do you want to go? And then
I want to not drive it into a wall.
Yeah, good luck. That's out of my hands. That has to do with the item between the steering wheel and the seat.
Yeah. But the nut that's loose in the middle.
But I mean, I get people who call me and they're like, "All right, well, I want to put together parts and I want to make 1,200 wheel horsepower on pump gas." And I was like, "Yeah, well, you can want in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up first."
Yeah.
Because that's not going to happen. I mean, that's one of the things that now that E85 and E98 and all this stuff is just so readily available. Fuck, dude, you can pull E85 out of the pump, random bullshit gas pump, and make almost 1,000 horsepower on it.
What's so weird to me, and it's I know it was a different time, but like Mike was so far ahead of the curve when it came to that shit. With like he was one of the first people I knew on the E85 train. Like he fucking dude, he just and with no hesitation, like bought the shit he needed to run E85 in the Talon and fucking and did it.
He was committed. Now, the huge downside.
Car, did you ever ride in that car?
I didn't. He
fucking violent.
One
dude.
of them
like
he put into a fucking rail before I got to, and
yeah, the black car. We went for a ride in that at one point, and he fucking he laid into it out on the 415, and it. Fucking I thought the dash was gonna come off in my lap. It was so fucking violent.
Well, the funny part about that car is it wasn't anything drastic. It was a factory rotating assembly with a set of camshafts, fuel, proper tuning, and a turbo,
and a good head. So we had a pretty.
It was a factory head.
Dover went through the head.
Okay. Well, I mean, it was still a factory casting. It wasn't some
it was a factory
build.
It wasn't anything. Yeah, but he had the badass magnetic manifold and. He bought the right parts. He bought
and that's the way
he bought the
always
parts
put it.
everybody should have bought.
Yep, and that's the way he always put it.
Nobody would buy.
It's really fast. It's a stock frame turbo. It makes 550 wheel horsepower, but it weighs 2,600 pounds with me in it.
Yeah,
it's gonna move.
It's fucking yeah. I didn't ride in the first gen that he built after the black car, but
the first gen.
No, I rode in the first gen because the first gen was the auto car.
Yes,
I didn't ride in the black car. I rode in the first gen. The first gen is the one that I thought the dash was going to come off in my fucking lap.
Yeah, the first gen was much faster than the second gen. Yeah. But the E85 concept, it's half the price of gasoline.
Mm-hmm. Twice the power.
Well, yeah, but it's also like a tenth the price of race fuel that's gasoline based. But the cost for your fuel system ends up skyrocketing quickly. The more power you want to make, so ethanol based fuel takes 30 to 35% more fuel for the same amount of airflow as gasoline-based fuel. So once you want to make 1,000 on either type fuel, the gap is massive. I mean, the flow numbers are huge. And then once you want to go past that, the flow numbers are even bigger. So I think Mike's car was running 2,000 or 2,500 cc injectors on it.
I believe they were ID 2000.
Yeah, and you're running this huge series of fucking pumps, my buddy
Joe. They may have been even bigger than that.
My buddy Joe, who's the tuner that works with Mike, one of his friends and a client of mine when I worked at the company, Grant, has a 2,500 horsepower Lambo. Mm-hmm. It's got 5 fucking fuel pumps. And it's gasoline based. That's on max effort C16 or whatever it is. And it's well, fuck, now you have to run 5 fuel pumps.
At $25 a gallon for fuel.
Yeah, but I mean, if you've got a $250,000 car with $180,000 worth of work.
You're ordering it by the 50-gallon drum.
Right. So. I've got a 2,500 horsepower Lambo. I've got a 1,000 plus horsepower Porsche 911. I've got a 1,300 horsepower GT500.
Yeah, no, that's bullshit. Nobody should be able to have that many fun vehicles.
That many horse pressures.
Yeah. Now that we've alienated pretty much all of our audience by talking about cars this whole time.
Real quick, because I forgot to talk about this the last 2 weeks in a row.
God damn it.
Yeah, we did the No Shave November like we always do because it's amateur month. Did you end up partaking in Beat Your Dick December?
I did not.
You didn't even try for day one?
Nope, didn't even try.
Not even inadvertently?
Nope. Not at all.
You didn't?
I specifically didn't try on purpose.
You intentionally didn't touch your wiener?
Yep.
That's lame.
Skipped it for a couple of days just to make sure that I could say this with all due certainty.
So you were anticipating I would bring this up at some point?
Absolutely. I knew it was coming.
Okay.
I've actually started following a couple Letterkenny accounts on TikTok that just play Letterkenny clips. So and I see the Beat Your Dick December one a couple times a day.
Letterkenny is delightful.
I gotta watch it. It goes against my statement earlier about adding streaming services, but I'm gonna have to add the Hulu so I can watch it.
Well, where do you guys normally watch Rick and Morty?
On Adult Swim.
Oh, so you watch it when it's on TV?
We have Sling, so yeah, Sling has on demand.
Got it.
So, and you can watch most Rick and Morty on the Adult Swim app.
Okay, I didn't know that. I watch it on the Hulu.
Which we just sometimes we stream. They don't do it anymore. One of those podcasts we listened to, the last podcast on the left, one of the guys on that show works for Adult Swim.
Oh, that's neat.
But they also last podcast had they called it Last Stream on the left, and every Thursday or Tuesday night they would do a 1 hour live stream broadcast on the Adult Swim app. So we actually got the app for that so that Jen could stream it to the big TV to watch it,
That's cool.
On our main TV. Adult Swim canceled all of the streams a month ago. But a lot of the shows are moving over to Twitch, so
Adult Swim's really to do. Adult Swim is really weird as far as the intellectual property and stuff that they have on the channel.
Yeah,
because
they don't own everything.
Well, so Brendan Smalls,
it's weird there,
is the guy who made Metalocalypse. He made home movies. He's been involved in several projects. Adult Swim refused to renew him on Metalocalypse, but refused to let him go anywhere else. And then he said, fine, we won't even worry about making shows. Let me continue doing a concert tour under the Death Clock band name from Metalocalypse. He's like, you don't even have to put out any money. You can just keep a portion of what I make, and I'll handle everything. I just need your permission. And they said, fuck you.
No.
And fuck them. And apparently they've been known to do that to a couple of different items, to where they're like, nah, we're not going to renew you, but we're not going to let you out of the contract, so you're not allowed to go anywhere else. And it's like, well, fuck. Now we lose out on shows we enjoy.
That's why we got to eat the rich.
We have to watch fucking 8-Ounce Mouse.
The fuck is 8-Ounce Mouse?
Oh, it's a fucking terrible, terrible show.
I'm gonna make that this time the fucking name of the show this week.
Oh, I'll send you some clips, but I made it to day 8.
If you don't like it, I'm not gonna like it.
But you didn't even comment on it.
Nope, I didn't. I heard it too. I'm just gonna let it ride.
Oh, it just really becomes a time consumer.
Yeah, I don't understand how anybody has time for more than once or twice a week. Like I got other shit to do.
Yeah. Once or twice a week? I know you fucking waste time.
I got other shit to do. Yeah, I waste time doing other shit that I enjoy. Yeah, I got this fucking RC car over here I got to keep running.
Yeah, well, it's going to get you fucked pretty good, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Next time I Dale Earnhardt that motherfucker into the bushes. So. Actually, I just finally got to put back together. I got to take it out and make sure it goes straight again.
Well, I saw you sent the video of the car doing the dance, the left to the right to the left to the right with the front.
Because my problem is that it wasn't like when you turned it left, it wouldn't come all the way back to center. So if I tried, like if it got a little loose taking off, like I would try to steer it, but if I steered it right, as soon as I let off for it to come back center, it wouldn't come back center. It would keep going right. So
and into the woods.
Yeah, so that caused an entire front end rebuild and some modified parts from Chateau de Mike.
I keep thinking about like every time you guys send pictures,
building one to join us.
Well, no, just no, because I'm not going to drive an hour to go fucking get my ass handed to me in a parking lot anymore.
It wouldn't be the first time,
right? I said anymore, but
doesn't have to be the last.
Oh, but I keep looking at what you guys have there, and I'm like, I bet I could find a way to make that lighter. Because they're all going to make the same power-ish. I'm like, I bet I can make that lighter.
Mike bought a carbon fiber chassis recently.
Perfect.
To replace the entire plastic chassis.
I mean, that's where my thought process was.
That's not where I'm willing to go yet. I still want to be able to go straight and make, like a night's worth of fun, joyful passes before I do anything else.
Yeah, you need to make an A to B pass.
Yeah. Bobby over here, fucking Bobby's car, because Bobby doesn't know how to slow down. Bobby's got this fucking the motor on his car is way too fucking fast, and then he bought an ESC to control the motor that fucking is way beyond what he needs, and he's having all sorts of problems. So
no, I just think about like the axles you and I were talking about. It's like, oh well, I can measure them and I can do the math to figure out the spline count. I can just 3D print something that's going to be just as strong but lighter.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you don't have a 3D printer. First of all,
I have complete access to one.
I understand, but you don't have one. Also, I don't know what it's going to cost you, besides, even if you just factor in materials and the amount of money it takes to ship them to you, the plastic axles that are heavy duty and available that you just have to cut down 3/4 of an inch with your Dremel, that are available from the car manufacturer on any website in the world that sells RC car parts, are $6.
Yeah, I'd probably be in it total material cost for $1.
And shipping from South Florida to you.
Yeah, $1 in materials cost, and then whatever a stamp is.
Yeah. So
because calendars cost $8 to ship.
And then you're gonna go out there, you're gonna put these axles in there. They're not gonna work.
Yeah, I get it. Art research and development.
And then you're just gonna put in the $6 axles back in.
But no,
or for $12 you can buy the metal axles and bend all the parts connected to them.
You just got to keep identifying weak points and wait.
And then you've got a 30, and then you've got a 67 or 70, or I think the entire rear from hub to hub to do it in aluminum parts, including the transmission, you're out. Not including the transmission, it's like $67 or $77, and then the transmission is another $70.
Right, but there's a lot of enjoyment coming from the engineering I'm doing.
I guess. See, and that's the part of it I don't enjoy. Like, I don't enjoy the engineering part of it. I enjoy, ironically, the replacing of the parts.
We'll see.
And then just
we can work together. I can make the parts and you can keep replacing them.
Okay. But I also enjoy like the I don't want to call it the science, but like the work to make it go straight.
The driving.
Yeah. And because it's not like in a car, I can stand behind your car and I can in 2020, I can hang a fucking GoPro from every angle on your car and it not be a big issue and watch, what the suspension does from under the car,
right?
Whatever.
And they don't make
GoPro
do that small enough on an RC car.
They don't. And on top of that, once the body's on it, you can't see any fucking thing anyway.
You just put a GoPro inside.
You're literally just guessing at what's going on.
Kinda.
And I enjoy that part of it.
I mean, physics is still physics. You should be able to figure it out. Figure it out.
Yeah. You say that, but the rear wheels on these things toe in order for them to go straight.
Just
so
you got a pizza, you got a French fry. You got a pizza, French fry.
I'm at the Pizza Hut. I'm at the Taco Bell. I'm at the combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell.
Fuck, what is that from?
TikTok. I don't know.
Oh. I hate TikTok.
I love it so much.
I know the old lady filters through a bunch of it and shows me some funny shit. She tags me
and stuff every now and then.
That's because I tell her to. She'll show me something and I'll laugh and I'll be like, tag Mike in that shit.
Yeah.
Tag the podcast in that.
My brother tags me in them as well.
She showed me one today about a dog, like a Chihuahua, that got into someone's edibles they threw away, and the dog is fucking high,
nice,
just like falling over.
I've got plenty of doggo material on mine. My TikTok is politics, doggos, and sex workers. Take that however you will.
It's a good life. It's a good life. They typically go hand in hand anyway.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh my God! Before we get into Trash or Treasure, did you see the thing I sent where the Proud Boys claim that they've had someone in the White House for like 4 years or whatever it is?
Yeah, and the Stephen Miller fucking joke.
They said Stephen Miller must be the guy, and the response was Stephen Miller got into politics because his arms were too weak to strangle a stripper.
Oh God!
Oh no! I'm sorry, strangle a prostitute. Oh,
it's true and terrible. Oh God!
I found out from reading that he's the type of guy, because this actually happened. He was playing a tennis match in 2003, like for shits and giggles, in high school. Mm-hmm. And the girls' track meet was going on. When he got done with his game, he jumped the fence onto the track and tried to outrun the girls to show them that men are better than women.
Oh.
And he lost.
Good. Fuck that guy specifically.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Fuck that guy.
All right, let's get into Trash or Treasure.
All right, I'm going to...
Trash.
You're going to have to cut this out because I'm going to have to sit down.
You're an asshole. I hate you so much.
I can't view the monitor from a standing position. All right. You've reached Trash or Treasure Hour. What the fuck are you doing over there?
Closing up my mason jar with my snack in it. Fuck you.
I always think that's funny when you have the mason jar with the trail mixes.
We don't really own a lot of plastic containers anymore.
Yeah, but I don't understand why it matters. You buy shit in a plastic container to put into a glass container and then throw the plastic container out.
That's true. But I also don't, but how often, I don't replace, I've used these same mason jars for over a year. Whereas the shitty plastic containers you buy, I would have fucking used, 5 or 6 packs of, because they get destroyed easily.
I would just leave it in the original bag.
No, well, I mean, whatever. But get on with your shit before I punch you in the throat. How about that?
All right, so we're going to do trash.
I'm only going to cut out a small part of it.
The one where you mouth farted?
Yes.
Oh. I hope Billy listens to these someday.
I doubt it.
Me too. All right, so today's trash or treasure, just in case you haven't heard this bit before.
Is it Stone Cold Steve Austin?
It is not Stone Cold Steve Austin. I would have thrown a fit earlier had that been the case. I'm going to give Mike some hints about someone who is at least mildly famous and you should be able to identify. I'm going to try and point out some goods and bads. And then at the end, we're both going to comment as to whether or not we think this person is a treasure or if they are, in fact, trash. So here we go, Mike. Are you ready?
I am ready.
This person was born in Tennessee in 1946, and they are still with us.
Tennessee?
It is not Mitch McConnell, although he may be Kentucky.
He was Kentucky.
This person is a singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, a thespian, an author.
Is it Frank Sinatra?
It is not. He is no longer with us. I don't think. No, he died at 74.
All right.
Yeah,
I don't know how you know that so quickly, but go on.
I read an article today. He died the night of the Seinfeld series finale because they were able to get him to the hospital. They were able to get him to the hospital in record time because the streets were empty because everyone was watching the show. Huh. Yeah, I just thought that was weird. Anyway, born in 46, has been an active participant in entertainment since 56, so since age 10. They're a businesswoman, humanitarian, author, actress, instrumentalist, songwriter, and singer. They've been married to their spouse since 1966, so since roughly 20 years of age. They do vocals, guitar, banjo, piano, auto harp, violin.
Sonny and Cher.
It is not Sonny and Cher. They have been on Gold Band, Mercury, Monument, RCA Victor, Warner Brothers, Columbia, Rising Tide, Decca, Sugar Hill, and then their own label.
Would their own label's name give it away?
Yes.
Okay. Is it DMX?
It is not. This person actually uses their real name as their stage name, which is kind of fun. I don't see anything about children, which is
kind of Jewel.
It is not the Jewel. Is Jewel 74 years of age?
I don't know shit about Jewel.
This person I wanted to bring up because of their philanthropic work. They do a lot of stuff with charity, including having their own charity. They were heavily involved in getting books to children, working with the Association of American Publishers. They have, won 3 American Music Awards and had 18 nominations. Has won 10 awards out of 42 nominations at the Country Music Awards.
So I'd guess they're a country singer?
That's one of the things that they participate in, yeah.
You saying you're going to light my Country Music Award on fire?
Yeah. There you go. Goddamn Jethro Tull.
He's dead.
Got inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 1999. Holds an honorary doctorate degree from Carson Newman College in Tennessee.
Is it Garth Brooks?
It is not Garth Brooks.
Damn it.
Was brought into the National Academy of Popular Music and Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2001. In 2002, ranked as number 4 in Country Music Television's 40 Greatest Women of Country Music.
So is it Trisha Yearwood?
It is not.
Damn.
Let me see.
Her and Garth are super philanthropic. That's why.
Philanthropic. Let me see. This person recently got publicity for having donated $1 million to Vanderbilt University.
Dolly Parton.
It is Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
So,
treasure, immediate treasure.
So when she was on TV on something we were just watching, I was like, man, I should do her. And Ashley was like, why? You know, she is actually treasure.
Yeah.
So just some other interesting facts that I didn't see before I scrolled down to the philanthropic work. She is the 4th of 12 children. Of the 12 siblings, 2 of them are left living. Oh, wait, 2 of 12 siblings are no longer living. She once had a quote, and I wish I could remember it because it's way better, but she says if it sags, swings, or wrinkles, I'll have it stapled, nipped, tucked, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Because there was a skit on Saturday Night Live where they were doing a Dolly Parton impression. And I was like, I should do Dolly Parton's, Trash or Treasure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so she's been in music since like age 20 and has been an actress and all kinds of stuff.
I didn't realize until recently, and it started with the Black Lives Matter, the protests and stuff that happened when she was on record in support of them. And then, as we filtered into the money she donated for the coronavirus vaccine and stuff like that, I didn't realize that I thought she just kind of had fallen, just out of the limelight, moved off, making money behind the scenes, doing whatever she does. Like I didn't realize she was as philanthropic as she is, and also as outspoken, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, because she's just not, I don't really listen to country music much anymore, so she's not in my...
Right. Have you ever been to, like, Dollywood?
No, I did go to Dolly Parton Stampede when it was in Orlando.
Okay.
The dinner show.
So she's a co-owner in Sandollar Productions, film and television production company. It produced the documentaries, won an Academy Award for Babes, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is something our generation would be familiar with. Father of the Bride 2, Sabrina. She was in The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Mm-hmm. That's probably what she's most known for in the movie TV scape.
She was in Rhinestone with Sylvester Stallone.
Mm-hmm. My grandmother was a big Dolly Parton fan, so
I mean,
I've seen a bunch of her movies and stuff that are even obscure too.
Well, she seems to just be a genuinely decent human being, in the getting books for kids and not trying to make a big fucking stink out of it is. Yeah. Everybody, look what I'm doing. She doesn't do that shit.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I say like a lot of the philanthropic stuff she does. Like I had no idea she did. So.
So this is kind of fun. In '98, Nashville Business ranked her as the wealthiest country music star. As of 2017, her net worth was $500 million.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yep. So, but yeah. She seems to be a pretty decent person, and she doesn't.
I agree.
She doesn't seem like she takes a bunch of shit from anybody.
Mm-mm. Nope, not at all.
And I think it's pretty cool that she's been married to her husband for 54 years.
Yeah, it is really.
You don't really see that shit in Hollywood, especially.
Nope, not at all. He knows where his bread's buttered.
He just knows that he's got the greatest trophy wife that's a sweetheart ever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely a treasure. So,
yeah.
No trash there.
I know that wasn't as difficult for the guest to figure out.
It needed to be said. It needed to be said.
Yeah, and I think it's worth recognizing. It's not
she
like
needed to be given her flowers while she was here.
It's not like I did Patrick Stewart, who everyone should know is a treasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Him too. He rescues pit bulls. That's my favorite thing about him.
He sure does. I just feel bad because he can't bring them home with him to England. So when he spends 6 months a year in the United States, he loves on them and takes care of them and then has to pass them off.
Yeah, well, I think, doesn't he have... He has, like, family and stuff here, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I don't think he fosters to turn around and keep them.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize he fostered. I thought, So, I thought he actually, like, I didn't realize he was just a foster. I think fosters are better than people that adopt. So.
They are tougher than I am, I will tell you that much.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I'd foster and just end up fucking keeping them.
Yeah, the only foster I'm going to do is the beer, and I'm probably going to throw that away.
Yeah, I'm probably going to throw it in the trash can, put it right next to the Yingling.
Because it is trash.
Yeah, Yingling, Foster's, and Heineken are all trash.
Fuck you.
So.
I like Yingling, and fuck you.
I know you do.
Heineken is not nearly as bad as...
If we were to do a trash or treasure, you would be trash.
Undoubtedly.
As would I, but for different reasons.
I mean, I have some trashy tendencies, but I'm a decent human being towards people. I have lots of trashy tendencies, but I'm a decent human being towards people.
Yeah, you're right. Me too. Well, so just a quick announcement for everybody.
Oh, no.
We will not be doing a show next week. That is the week of Christmas, for those of you that don't have a calendar in front of you or don't know what's going on right now.
It is our gift to you.
The week off. Yeah, it is our gift to you to save your eardrums from this torturous time. But yeah, no, we're going to take the week of Christmas off. We will be back with a fresh new episode on New Year's Eve, ironically.
Oh, shit.
Hell yeah, we might have to come up with something fun to do between now and then. We'll have to figure that out.
My sister sent us a ton of hard to swallow foods.
Yeah, I saw that. Man, listen, Japan's Kit Kat. I follow a chick on Instagram that her and her husband live in Japan. They're from America, but live in Japan for work. And she fucking posts like the ridiculous Kit Kat flavors they have over there. Like weekly, it fucking annoys the shit out of me because I want to try them all.
Well, I've got 3 of them, and I'm happy to share them with you. My sister said she's going to try and get me the salted lemon. She said that's her favorite, I think.
The salted lemon is supposed to be really good from what I've heard. There's a website where they import them and sell them. I think you can even get them on like Amazon. Like the company imports them and sells them on Amazon.
Listen, if
for
there's
a fairly fair price.
If there's a profit to be made, I have an idea on how to get a bunch of them.
All right,
but
I don't know how much profit there is to be made, but
I'll I might be able to mail you some of the less than ideal things, and we can eat them on the air at the same time.
Okay,
might be able
we'll
to
figure something out.
Might be able to get a webcam or something.
We'll talk it out off air.
So everyone, if you've enjoyed the podcast or you haven't, whatever your input is, please feel free to reach out to us on the social medias. You can find us wherever social media can be found at Nothing in Mod Pod. Please feel free to send us an IM, DM, PM, carrier pigeon, whatever it is. We are happy to send you a sticker or a magnet or a keychain or all 3. Only cost to you is the little bit of time it takes you to give us your contact info. If you want to reach us on the Gmails, it's
nothing in moderation pod at gmail.com.
That's what it is. So keep a lookout for us harassing people who deserve it on the Twitter space that are public figures. Yeah, and just generally mocking dumb people.
Yeah, that's what we do. So, yeah, definitely check us out. If we, we hope you guys have a great holiday with your family.
And I swear
whatever you're gonna do.
I swear to God, Mike, when we do the next episode, if you say I'll see you next year, I'm hanging up on you.
Okay, well, you should go ahead and hang up on me now.
Ooh, premeditated punnery.
All right, well, fucking, you ready to get out of here?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get out of here. We'll see you guys. See you guys in 2 weeks.
Yep. All right, kids, be
we
safe.
Love you.
Bye.
Stop it.
See ya.
Stop it. Bye. I fucked it all up.
Boop.
And
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, kids, you've reached the end of the podcast. That's it. There's nothing more here. Just dead air and this closing statement. We appreciate your diligence, though. Now go back about your day and come back for the next show. Or listen again. In fact, that sounds like a better plan. Grab another show. That's what I'm doing right now. Whoever listens the most wins. You don't really win anything, really. Just the memories of better times, which is winning in my book. All right, well, this is the actual end. Hand banana.